Hey, this is George.
Hey, this is Fred.
This is Real Talk with George and Frazier. How you doing, brother?
What's going on, brother? I got a hot gear on today. It's hot down here. I'm sorry. I had to do respectful day, so I couldn't put t-shirt on. So you know how that go. So I get close to it though.
Oh yeah, definitely all good. Got a little bit of a sweater down here in the basement, but besides our attire, man, let's get right to it. We got a great show
Oh yeah.
today. We have a financial guru, we have an author, we have a coach,
Everybody.
we have somebody just like myself. So I'm just like, man, let's go. Let's get her on the show. Let's talk. Hi, Laura. Welcome to Real Talk.
Hi,
Hey,
Lord, how you doing?
good. How are you?
We're doing good and peachy down here.
We're doing good up here in Maryland. So,
Yeah.
Oh,
See,
sounds good. I like Maryland. It's beautiful in Maryland.
she's closer to me, Frazier, than you are.
Hey,
yeah,
what
we're
was
new
that,
here.
George?
We're from Virginia. So we're new to Maryland. I realized for the first time how snow is supposed to be taken care of, because having lived in Virginia Beach and in Florida, I'd never experienced actual snow plowing until this year. I was like, oh, this is how it's supposed to be managed.
Did you run out of salt?
No, they even salted my neighborhood. I was like, oh my goodness. This
Really?
is how
Wow.
it's supposed to work.
Nice. Absolutely. Well, I
Nice.
do all my snow plowing here myself in New Jersey. So,
Oh, God bless you.
yeah,
I
absolutely.
know, right? He blessed over there. He loves the cold. He loves the cold.
No, actually, I don't, but I'm just in it. Definitely in it. But anyway, Laura, thank you for coming on the show. And let's tell the fans and listeners a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I've been in the finance space for almost a decade now, which blows my mind. I'm like, I can say that. I can say a decade. I'm a mom. I'm a military spouse. Always on the move and crazy busy. I'm also, the reason what I do now is that I really work with families and with women to help really connect their personal goals and what they want to do with their like just lives in general to the financial side, because I realized after spending all this time working in finance that there is this massive gap where people don't realize that your goals and dreams don't have to be numbers, because numbers aren't goals and goals aren't numbers. But we just have things in life that we need money to facilitate. And a lot of people don't see that, or they're not talking about money enough with their partners or with their families. So I'm just trying to unlock that piece of the puzzle for more people. And I have a book that's all about, women's empowerment and breaking that stigma and the glass ceilings and ways to connect it to the whole picture coming out. And it's available for pre-order, but I'm really excited about it. But it's just about that holistic viewpoint, because so many people hyper focus on one little piece of the puzzle. And I'm trying to bring to the forefront that it's not just one thing.
Okay. All right.
Gotcha.
Definitely appreciate that.
Gotcha.
I wrote a book about debt finance and how you can use your credit to basically become your own bank. And I
Yes.
wanted to ask you, author to author, what are you seeing exactly in that space? Because what I've been seeing specifically is people don't understand their credit, and they're not alone. I thought I understood credit myself until I was actually coached about it. And literally within 9 months, I went from trying to get money for 10 years to having $1 million line of credit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So just like that, just understanding what to do and how to do it. What are you seeing in your particular space? Is it just not enough money? Is it improper money management? Like you're saying, we're not talking about finances. Is it poor credit? I shot a lot of questions at you, so you can just pick them bit by bit, or what's relevant for you.
So first of all, disclaimer. Nothing that I am saying is anybody's specific advice on any topic. I can't do that. I don't know you. I don't know who's listening. I don't know your situation. This is all just kind of things that I've read, just basic, my experience and education kind of things to even take to your own personal financial trusted person, to see if it's a right fit for you. So just disclaimer that one really loud in the back. So it's people just don't understand debt. They don't understand it. Like, that's just plain and simple. They don't understand money and how it works in any facet. I mean, I'm constantly learning. I firmly believe that if I haven't learned something new today, I'm failing myself. I've networked and met with credit coaches to help better leverage credit for me and for my family to understand more of it, because I don't work specifically in the credit space.
Mhm.
But what I've seen is this overwhelming space of people just thinking all debt's bad
Yeah.
and not knowing how to utilize it.
Mhm.
And, I blame Dave Ramsey for a lot of this, where there's a lot of Kool-Aid drinking where people just think anything debt related is the devil and it must be squashed. And that's not the truth. Like, as you said, George, like it's not the truth. And realizing for some people that debt can be a bad thing because you don't know how to manage it. You don't know how to control yourself because you don't have that power within you to even manage your regular budget. And that's why you're using debt, which is the wrong way to use debt.
Right.
Is that when debt is a problem, it's not the source of the problem. Like, people label debt bad, and that's because people have behavioral problems.
Right.
Exactly.
So disconnecting the taboo of debt from, no, you're just irresponsible with that debt. And bad debt, bad debt, which is just poorly utilized debt, is a symptom of financial problems,
Mhm.
not the cause of financial problems.
Gotcha.
And then when you're tackling your bad debt problem, people do this snowball effect, and they're not putting any money in savings or towards anything else. So when something crappy happens, and because they still don't have good money behaviors or knowledge, they end up racking up more debt
Mhm.
that they can't utilize or pay off. So stop over focusing on one thing and putting one thing in the bad guy corner.
Right.
Exactly.
Anything can be a bad thing if you don't know how to use it.
Right.
And that's anything in life, not just money.
True.
Like, if I don't know how to use scissors, right, I could think scissors are the worst because they cut fingers.
Right.
Exactly.
But they're really useful if you need to do a craft with your 4-year-old,
Right.
like, or wrap Christmas presents.
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
really great tool if you have a new business or an Airbnb you need to furnish or get a business started and going, like, in layering it and all sorts of things. It's just about using it correctly, and nobody knows it.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree with you more. You know, what I
Yeah.
found in the book that I wrote was just completely astounding because I learned it and I was like, "Nah, I just can't be that simple, so to speak, when it comes to certain things." But, when you apply it to the way that Fraser and I have applied it to, we've been investing in real estate for a while, and I tell people all the time, even your house, you kind of debt serviced your house when you bought it because you didn't
Mhm.
have
Yeah.
all the money to buy it, so you're just playing with interest rates. But to circle back, what I meant to press upon and to add some value to what you're saying is people don't understand assets and liabilities. We spend a
Mhm.
lot of time buying liabilities, but we spend very few time buying assets,
Yeah.
you know, and it's just basic math. If you have a lower interest rate that you're purchasing with, but you're getting a higher interest rate in return, you minus the two, and that's the profit. It's just simple.
Exactly. People don't understand their balance sheet. And that's one of the things that I work with people in the get-go with, is understanding your today, right? Because you have assets and liabilities, and when you subtract those out, that gives you your net worth. And if
Yep.
something happens to your cash flows, your net worth is what takes over. And people don't
Exactly.
understand that. They're just so like, I'm like, well, if you can use your liability to get you more net worth,
Exactly.
why aren't you doing that? Why are you throwing money, not owning a home, throwing money away just because you don't like the idea of a mortgage?
Exactly.
Or you want the perfect house? There's no house that is perfect. You can custom build a house that you believe is perfect, and you live there for 2 months and then it's no longer perfect.
Right.
Like, there's
Exactly.
understanding the balance sheet, like you said, is quintessential, and learning how to leverage yourself is so important. And then on top of that, right? So you have Your assets and liabilities are the middle of your house, right? That's everything that's going on. Your net worth is the foundation, right?
Exactly.
That's what takes over,
Right.
holds everything up. You got to put a roof on it too. And that's protecting your assets, your liabilities, and your cash flow. And it's not about just, life insurance. It's not just about disability insurance. I don't sell it. I don't do anything with it, but I look at people's basic liability insurance. People forget about that.
Exactly.
Do you want all your hard-earned money to just disappear because somebody tripped and fell in your house?
Right.
Yeah.
Or you get in a car accident and you're at fault and you cause that person to lose a year of their job or pain and suffering, and you got the minimum coverage because that was the least expensive.
Right.
It was convenient for you.
Yep.
If you have the minimum coverages, that means that's all it's going to cover if something bad happens.
Yep.
And then it doesn't matter what you're invested in. It doesn't matter what you've been doing to build stuff up, because they're going to garnish it all.
Exactly.
So call your car insurance company, up your coverages, get into umbrella insurance to cover things in excess. Protecting what you're building is so important. And people forget about that because we're also focusing on future us.
Exactly.
Right.
Forgetting about today us. And understanding your balance sheet is the first place to go, and understanding that house concept of foundation, the inside, the interior design, which is your assets and liabilities, and then putting a roof on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's so true. Because see, I ain't learned to write the book about it, but I had to tear life experience on it. It's terrible as hell. I'm sorry. You write a book of bad credit. My bill credit was so bad at one point, the guy laughed at me when I applied for a credit card. He literally like, you're right. Yeah. Hold on. How much you want? Tell you what, I feel bad for you. I give you $100. I credit him $100. Don't do too much here now. Don't splurge too much. I'm like, huh? What the heck are you talking about? Then I started listening at books. Listening at people talking about net worth versus liquid cash flows or whatever. And that's how I found out that most people, not millionaires, are net worth rich.
Right.
Very few of them have lucrative cash on hand that'll go and get $100 million. I don't have that. But they have $100 million worth of net worth.
Right.
Houses, cars, boats, whatever it is, net worth. And what I learned, what God was telling me is, if you ever get in trouble, you buy assets. Assets that can be lucrative in order to get you back to float. Like you buy a car. Don't buy a basic car. You buy a car in limited edition. So basically 2 years from now, it still holds its value.
Mm-hmm.
So versus anything else, because guess what? That same car might worth to a collector a lot more money you paid for it.
Right.
And you owe $100,000, the car worth $250,000. Guess what?
Right.
Sell a car, got the money, and now you got money to float and operate your current business and get it back up to float, back in the black, as they say. But a lot of people don't know that. Like you see people.
You have to be careful with that too, with where you start with that strategy, because some people, they have to learn better behaviors first before they can jump into leverage. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about leveraging assets and your liabilities, but you have to take a step back first and understand what you're doing right now. Because for me, before you start leveraging assets and leveraging debt, you have to be a world-class saver. I don't care what bucket you're putting money in. You got to know that you're putting money away, because, in the financial world, it doesn't matter what realm of it that you're in. There is a hyper focus on rate of return, right?
Mm-hmm.
We all hear about rate of return. That's all they talk about. With the stock market, with interest rates, everything's always hyper focused on rate of return. And what does that mean? Should you pull all your money out? All of those types of things. But what if you peel back the onion layers, right? And you think about your whole life, right? I'm in my 30s. I got a long time till I'm going to quote unquote retire, which I don't ever plan on truly retiring.
Exactly.
Because if you love what you're doing, you're never working a day in your life. We peel back the layers, your ability to put money away, right? Your actual behavior, the rate of which you save is a better indicator of future success than just putting a bunch of money into some asset.
Right.
So making sure before you start doing any advanced level strategies that you have basic behaviors on lockdown is important. Before you go buy a fancy car that you can't necessarily pay the payment for, that's bad debt usage.
Right.
It's
Gotcha.
not about keeping up with the Joneses. It's about understanding where you are in life and making sure you do something every day that's going to make tomorrow just a little bit better, and making sure you maintain some control of it.
Right.
Exactly.
And there's no one size fits all. There's 100 million different solutions. Because, George, what you want in life and what Fraser wants in life and what I want in life are all a little bit different.
Right.
Yeah.
We all want to be successful, right? Everybody
Exactly.
wants to be successful. But my definition of it and y'all's definitions of it are all going to be a little bit different.
Exactly.
So figure out what that is first. And then we
Exactly.
start working towards it, because nobody has a crystal ball.
That is true. So, I mean, your book, these stress on how important mindset is
Mhm.
and getting financial literacy up the par. Because, like you say, I was looking at the stats. Like women now started in the last 3 years increase starting businesses versus men. It's like 114% over the 100 mark. And
Yes.
women started businesses. So, like, how do you help some of the younger women who starting young who doesn't understand the leverage, the debt ratio in business
Mhm.
versus personal?
Yes. So it's really important to separate yourself from your business, which is hard no matter if you're a woman or a man, because it's your baby and you created it. It's very hard to like remove yourself a little bit from your business. I completely understand, and from personal experience as well. The book focuses more on mindset than financial literacy and financial confidence, because they're connected. So making sure you have the right mindset allows you to then start elevating the rest of the game. So when I work with people one-on-one, we do both of them together. But the book is more focused on just opening your mind to discover what you really want to do and to understand what you need to do. Because so many women that I see, when you talk about us becoming more business owners, a lot of that has to do with COVID and things leading up to that and after that. Because when you talk about how that affected us as women, is that we kind of reverted back to the 1950s, that we lost our jobs and we had to stay home with the kids because they were virtual learners.
Gotcha.
And that puts a lot of pressure on us, especially if you were a dual income household.
True.
And that suddenly your job couldn't translate into virtual world. So now what you going to do? So we had to reinvent ourselves and say, screw you, corporate world. This is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to be good at it. Now, not everybody was good at it, because we were stuck in our negative self-talk loop and imposter syndrome, that you're not good enough. There's no way people are going to do what I ask of them. There's no way what I say is going to change someone's life. And that's where women get stuck, that they don't believe that they have the voice to deserve that abundance. And if they're in the corporate world, they don't believe they have the right foot to stand on to ask for a raise or to ask for more time off, to ask for more benefits, because we're kind of taught to not do that by society. And if we can throw away that inside our head trash and realize we do deserve abundance and we do deserve to be able to self-advocate and to love ourselves, then we'll be able to open that door to more abundance in money. Whether it's in your personal business and charging people what you're worth, because so many people don't do that. Oh no, I can't charge someone $1,000 for my course. I'm going to charge them $50 because more people will buy it if it's $50. No, you just cheapened yourself. You just put yourself in dollars in the dollar store section. Charge what you're worth. And you'll see they will come, quality over quantity. Don't make yourself a dollar store grab bag. Put yourself on the top shelf with Louis Vuitton.
Right.
Exactly.
and surround yourself with a tribe, with a village of people that can counsel you to help you get where you want to be. Whether it's, me personally, like I talk about mindset like I'm some guru at it, right? That's because I have a coach and my coach has a coach. And then I have, the people that I work with in finance that I consult with and bring on board to help me with my issues or help me with my clients. Like, it's not just me. There's other people in
Right.
my community that I can bring into the fold to help people. And so many women, so many people have this shame that if they can't do it all themselves, they're not good enough.
Yep.
Right.
And I think that's also a fact of this type of living where we're all by ourselves, we're isolated, and we see these perfect pictures of people's vacations in Aspen or wherever. And they think, well, I'm not doing that. I don't know how to do that. So I must suck. No, you're not asking the right people or the right questions. So
Exactly.
ask
You're
the
not
question.
really truly understanding, what that is. Everybody in social media, what they're doing and how they're doing it always has an A side. They never see the B side. That's why I tell my son all the time, he's talking about, he's good in sports. He wants to have a mansion, make $1 million. I'm like, great. I said, but whatever you're chasing, money will never ever solve that issue. How many other people who had a lot of money that you know of at your age at 14 died, and you can't understand why they killed themselves? Okay, because the money didn't solve the issue of the problem that they were dealing with. A lot of times it just amplifies it.
I mean,
So,
you could look at all sorts of like superstars and athletes. I mean, I'm a Steelers fan, so Antonio Brown, money's not solving his mindset.
Nope.
I mean, money doesn't solve anything. And I talk about this a lot with the military community because I am a military spouse, is you have these young people that join the military from all different backgrounds. Some of them have never had a steady income ever in their lives, and they join the military so they can have that stability, right? That's a very true thing that happens. Think about the parallels of that, of an individual getting drafted into the NFL that has never had steady income, and now they have millions of dollars. And they have never seen that ever in their lives, not even, anything consistent. That's why you see sometimes these football players or NBA players within a couple of years of being playing, they're bankrupt.
Yeah.
Or right after they retire and they're not generating massive amounts of cash flow anymore, they're broke. It's because they had the money, but they didn't learn how to do it. They didn't actually solve anything deeper about how to use it to make themselves better or how to access things to help themselves. And money doesn't solve everything. You putting the work in to better yourself, whether it's educationally, mental health wise, all of the different assets, that's what's important. And that's part of the main theme of the book, and also why I'm putting on a massive summit in May along with the book launch, that I'm bringing in like 20 different women, powerhouse women that all specialize in different spots of women's empowerment and wellness, because it's not just about money. It's also about your physical health, your mental health, and your mindset of just your life situation. There's going to be some amazing speakers that came from really rough backgrounds of nothing, and now they're superstars in their industries. And it's going to bring you tears. I mean, I have one woman who's battling breast cancer. She has stage 4 metastatic breast cancer, and how she's not letting that define her and who she is. And she's thriving, not just surviving. And those types of stories will help. And there's different backgrounds, all sorts of different backgrounds, to make you understand that just because you don't understanding money and having money is not where we start. It's getting everything straight and narrowed so that you can do the right things with the money.
Exactly. But a touch bit on you saying that way, that We said about how a younger player, how young at a
Mhm.
certain age get hold of a certain amount of money. I believe Tony Dungy said it best. He said that it's like giving a kid who never had any lollipops or nothing and give him 1,000 lollipops. He'll try to
Right.
put all 1,000 lollipops in his mouth at one time because he don't know how to eat one at a time.
Yep.
You want to take one wrapper off at a time. He don't know how to do that, and he's trying to educate him. Now I'm asking questions like say like younger women versus younger males.
Yeah.
When they started in the business, I was a younger male. I ain't gonna lie to you. Save money was not on my top 25 list. It was not ever on my top 25 list. Now what I did my money was to coordinate women, try to get women, get date me. That was my money went. Some women actually saved the money. I've seen one girl, she was like 20, save half her allowance all the time because she's doing she saved the money. So women are great used to saving money versus
And I
men.
think
How
that's
do you get
connected
understanding
to
that?
women are our mindsets in general are more about protecting,
Hmm.
right? Because of just our experience as women that we need to be more protective of ourselves. Um, you know, we walk to the car, we don't hit the unlock button until we get right by the car. A man doesn't think about that. You know what I
No.
mean? Like little things like that. Like, or even in sales training, like, oh, go up to someone at the grocery store and start talking to them. I'm like, no, that's how I get human trafficked. Why would I do that? Little things like that,
Yeah.
that are just the different experience as a woman or a man trickles down to money. A woman is more likely to be worried about how to protect herself financially because we are more likely to experience job loss and breaks in employment. If we get married and have children, we're in America, we don't have a maternity leave program that guarantees us income for an extended period of time, like in some of the other countries. We are more likely to experience lower pay and breaks in employment
Hmm.
than a man. So for a man, the worry about money isn't about necessarily making sure we have enough because of something might happen to me. It's more about just chasing the dollar and just getting as many as you can and doing and having a good time with it and being gusto and getting it. I mean, no offense, but that's just like a little bit of a different mindset. Women, when we have families, we're more worried about protecting our families financially, not just putting food on the table and, the cold hard facts of just like, oh, we want to make sure we have things in the 401k.
Yeah.
But we're more about like, well, what happens if dad passes away, because he's the breadwinner. How do we make sure everything's okay after that? It's more of a protective mindset
Hmm.
in case something bad happens to us.
Right.
While men, no offense, are more about getting to that next level.
Hmm.
All right, what can I use my money to get to the next level with? All right, I can use this money at the bar to look cool, to get this girl a drink, to up level ourselves. Right? I mean, my husband's guilty of that too. We met at a college party. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've been there. We've been young and dumb. But that's one of the quintessential differences is that men view money as a way to go up the ladder.
Yeah.
While women typically use money, we want to go up the ladder and earn more, but we also want to make sure things are taken care of just in case. There's a little bit of a instinctual difference.
Right.
Exactly. So you go back. You're saying. I know now more corporate women in corporate world now. It kind of flipped the role a little bit now. Cause now the women seem to be chasing the bag versus the men are trying to save money, make sure their family's good. That's usually around in their 30s and 40s when men start thinking, you know what? I gotta stop being dumb. Start saving some, start getting some money. Or take your time. Actually, more of the protective of money assets. Where women have already established that in the 20 to 30 have a tendency to spend more and be more lucrative with money as in shoes, purses, and all that stuff that men did in their 20s.
Yep.
So how do you flip that around and work on the young women, which now coming up, which is totally different. They're in the now theory. They want everything done now. Versus
everybody. That's not just women. That's just men. Everybody wants everything now. I mean, honestly, don't we all want it right now?
Yeah, exactly.
We all want it now. We don't want to wait for it. We don't want to wait for success.
We live in a microwave society, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
with social media and everybody, quote unquote, showing off, It's just like it has to happen. If it doesn't happen now, then something's wrong with me.
Exactly.
You know. But we've
Exactly.
all lived in households where we've had strong women or strong grandmothers that raised us and said, okay, this is kind of
Yeah.
how you do it, and this is what you do to stretch, and this is what you do to make ends meet. Which has saved a lot of us some heartache, some pain. Some of us are hard headed, like myself, just a little bit of hard headed and doing certain things. It seems like your book is more about the mental mind state as opposed to um, the accomplishments, so to speak.
Yeah, it's about just breaking through to yourself, because imposter syndrome is very real. Even women that are at the top pinnacle of corporate world or CEOs of big things, they still get in their own head. And I've talked to women that are high up there that are like, man, I wish 20 years ago I was doing this instead, because I could have gotten here so much faster if
Hmm.
I had believed in myself earlier on and made the right, charged a little bit more, or amended this contract, knew I could negotiate the contract.
Hmm.
And with the younger generation coming up, the thing that I would implore them to do is to take a breath. Like, take a breather, dude. It's cool. Like,
Yep.
if you put the work in the right places, you're going to get somewhere.
Hmm.
But you have to look at it holistically. Like, you can't just be like, I just want to look cool and get Instagram followers, so I'm going to spend all this money and rack up all this debt to look cool. You have to be authentic at the same time. People are going to see through that.
Yeah.
And you have to put the work in to up level yourself. And the book is about kind of being true to yourself, because we've all, I mean, man or women, we've all been in a place where you were working somewhere that was absolutely toxic and against your own morals. We've all been there, probably young in our career. We've all worked at horrible places with horrible bosses, but you
Yeah.
stayed. You stayed because you needed the dollar,
Yeah.
right? Because you didn't save enough to be able to just walk away from that job.
Right.
Yep. You're right.
We've all been guilty of that. And what would you have told yourself? You would have told yourself, if you could go back in time, you'd be like, put more money away so you could walk away from this dumbass job.
Right.
Stop.
Totally agree.
Yeah, like, be more responsible. I've been
Yeah.
guilty of it. You know, I come from a Hispanic culture. My mom's a naturalized citizen from Central America. I know I don't look at my dad's family is like third generation American from the Ukraine and Hungary. Like, I didn't grow up with abundance. We didn't grow up talking about money. My dad's family grew up in Pittsburgh in a house with 3 different families living in it, like a regular house
Right.
in the very bad part of town in Pittsburgh. And they actually literally call it the Bottoms.
Right.
Wow.
And my mom was born in Nicaragua and grew up in Panama during Noriega and all of that. When my grandfather passed away in his 50s, my grandmother didn't even know how to write a check. Like,
Yeah.
the cultural backgrounds play a big deal in our money mindset.
Hmm.
And the one thing that I can say our generations, the X and elder millennials, what we can do to best serve the next generation is to actually talk about money.
Right.
Exactly.
Stop keeping it behind closed doors.
Right.
Teach value.
Right.
Teach your kids. Like, I do it all the time. I'm like, no, we're not getting another unicorn toy because we're here to get groceries. Do you want a toy or do you want to be able to eat dinner tonight? Like, obviously our situation is not that bad. It's not like that. I could afford the unicorn. Don't tell my daughter. I could afford the whole store worth of unicorn. Don't tell her. But to make her place value on things and the opportunity cost, she finally realized the other day, she came up to me and was like, Mom, not all kids have the things we do. I'm like, yeah, you're right. She's like, not all mommy and daddies can do this. I'm like, yeah, you're right. You want to, let's gather up some of the toys you don't play with, and we can donate them to some kids so they can have more toys to play with. You know, like
Yeah.
she had that aha moment. She's 4.5. And that's important. And if we can, she plays with her little purse and says that she's going to the grocery store and not to the toy store, and that she's
Right.
going to go buy groceries and not toys.
Right.
She hears me and my husband talk about how expensive groceries are getting. And then I hear her when she's playing with her little brother saying like, oh man, groceries are getting so expensive. So I'm not hiding them from that conversation. They
Right.
need to understand the value of things. And I think that's going to be a big way to help future generations not make the same money mistakes, is by exposing them to the opportunity cost and the value of a dollar, which every day is getting less, and it's frustrating the heck out of me in my job. But just making sure your kids and your kids have a safe place to be able to talk about money and ask questions about money and be around it, because think about it. If you say a curse word one time, your kid's going to say it 100 more times. If you have bad money habits, your kids are probably going to have bad money habits.
Right.
Yeah.
If you never talk about money at home, your kids aren't going to know what to do with money.
Right.
That's true. That's true.
And
So
that's how you help the next generation.
That's true. Because I'm gonna tell you, when I grew up, it wasn't a fact of money was taught in the household. I was in a single family home. So it's my mom. So I know what it's to see a woman struggle to take care of the kids and do what it takes. And I learned from that. Now, what I didn't learn is I didn't learn the masculinity part of being a man. I learned both sides of it. In other words, I have compassion. At the same time, I can be masculine. So I learned both sides and balance it out.
Awesome.
Where, as in, I can treat my kid like with love. Hey, son, how you doing? Love to get cut, and don't have no remorse on being masculine. Get away, kid. Get away from me. It just work. Or versus the other part where some dads come home, whatever, but also had that mentality of a male where gotta go with the money, gotta take care of the family, gotta do this. You get frustrated, you stress out more, and you build that what they call that big thing, that health run behind you, the health thing run behind you. You know what it talks about? The stress, the
Yep.
frustration that lead on to sickness, heart failure. What the other one is?
stroke.
Heart attacks, strokes. And that's
Mm-hmm.
why men have more strokes than women do, because, as you said, at some point women realize that I'm protecting my family, I'm getting everything covered, so I'm gonna have that rainy money in the bank for a rainy day. We men, we don't do that. We go get it. Hey, we need $5. Go get it. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
really
That's
it's
what I do.
really fun when I work with couples that have different mindsets about money, and trying to bring the minds together on those two concepts, because men typically, when I meet with them, they just want to talk
Yep.
about investments and sexy things about retirement planning and things down 20, 30, 40, 50 years down the road,
Yep.
while the woman comes to the table saying, okay, if something happens to him, am I going to be okay? If me and the kid's going to be okay? If I get sick and injured, because us 30 to 40-year-olds, in our age group, we are
Yep.
more likely, we're not very likely to die randomly.
Yep.
There's a higher potential that we are going to get sick or injured in the near future. So if we get sick or injured, do we have employer benefits? Can we still afford groceries? Do we have disability insurance? What happens if something happens right now that stops or drastically reduces our cash flow?
Right.
Back to the budget, back
Yep.
to the balance sheet. While men are more likely to be hyper focused on planning for 50 years from now and positioning themselves for 50 years from now, women are more likely, not all, but more likely to be focused on protecting right now if something happens. And that's the little bit of a difference. And so it's makes my job fun to bring those two minds together and try to be like, okay, one at a time. We're going to address every single thing. Wait your line, turn in line, just listen, have an open mind. But it's about connecting all those things. Like, again, back to not hyper focusing. So working with someone doesn't have to be me. It could be just someone you trust, because I firmly believe you should always find a person that you connect with, you vibe with, that makes sense to you. There's no one size fits all, but find someone that can talk to you about every aspect of your financial life.
Right.
And especially if you're married, Both spouses need to be at the meeting. I don't know how many widows I've met with, and they came to me because they left their husband's financial advisor. Do you hear me say that? It was their husband's advisor.
Yeah.
It wasn't their advisor.
Right.
Yeah. Totally different.
Both people being there and both people being part of the conversation and having their voices and concerns heard and met is most important to understanding that balance sheet, the assets, liabilities, the foundation piece of the net worth, and protecting it all. All of those pieces are super important. And then handing that house that you built to your children and making sure that they can do it responsibly because
Right.
by having that early conversation with them. It's
Right.
all connected to then being able to deploy the fancy smancy strategies with debt leveraging and credit layering and structuring and cool different types of assets and asset classes and all the cool jargon, fancy words you can throw at someone, but making sure you can work with someone that says it all in plain English and doesn't leave you confused, transparent and educational, because it's your money.
Right.
Don't give your money to someone to manage if you don't understand what they're even saying or they're not even willing to explain it to you and show you behind the scenes. Transparency, education, empowerment, collaboration, making sure the person you work with understands it's your money and your dreams, not mine.
Right.
Because I see that. I see greedy, selfish people in the financial industry all the time. And it makes me want to vomit.
I mean, look, definitely respect all that. I mean, everybody. I mean, even in real estate, Frazier and I say it all the time. Brokers are just as lazy as lawyers. Every
Yep.
time for new properties, they only throw you what they have on the board. They're not willing to go look and dig deep and say this might be a gem for Frazier that he can go buy, flip, do whatever it is he wants to do, buy it. And then when you tell them, look, I'm looking for somebody that's going to be working with me, all of a sudden you don't get a phone call back because that's just too much work.
Yep.
But that being said, we never talked about the title of your book. I do apologize.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Yes.
I know, right?
The title of my book is A Guide to Empowerment for Women in Business. So it's all about discovering your purpose, reclaiming your life, and unlocking your inner boss lady so that you can go get that dollar.
Nice. And where was you able to find your book?
The book is going to be right now it's on Amazon Kindle. You can pre-order it. If you go to my Instagram on my link bio there, you can pre-order your copy. It's only $9.99 for the ebook. I'm really excited about it. And you can also subscribe to my newsletter so you can get exclusive leaks of chapters and things like that before it gets released in April.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you being on the show.
Yes, I'm so excited.
About a tip.
Super cool. I'm doing it, George. I'm on picking brains. I know there's picking brains right now. See that? Hold on, get a little bit there, a little bit there. Good job.
How can you just cut me off mid-sentence, man? She couldn't even hear me.
Hold on, my bad. Hold on. There you go.
There we go. Well, anyway, like I was saying, we do appreciate you taking the time midday, being on the show and talking to us about your book and all the advice that you gave. But just one more tip. Give us one step besides mindset, because mindset can be so broad.
Yeah.
So just one tip you can give somebody to start today.
Get organized. Take inventory. Open that financial junk drawer, because we all got one. We all got a financial junk drawer. Just like we got, every single one of us got a junk drawer in your kitchen.
Right.
We all got a financial junk drawer where we got a whole bunch of stuff that we acquired over life, whether it's 401ks, IRA, whatever. We got a bunch of stuff. And we have no idea what's in it because we put it on the get to it later shelf.
Right.
Dump that drawer out. Take inventory. Take inventory. What do you have right now?
Right.
Then think about, what do you want next year? What do you want 5 years from now? What do you want to do? Not financially, like literally. What do you want to have accomplished in 3 years?
Right.
Like, George, if we were to talk in 3 years, what do you want to be able to tell me that you've accomplished in the last 3 years?
Oh, I'm retired.
Okay. Okay, that's it. You're retired. Okay. So now let's look at your inventory. Okay. What do you have working for you that's going to get you there?
Oh, that's a great question. Right now, I got a real estate portfolio that I'm actually growing with certain amounts of income coming in. The goal is to uh, get rid of all the ancillary debt so we can live completely free on the residual income that the real estate has been, or passive, whatever they want to call it these days.
Yeah,
That comes in every month to be able to handle me and my wife because when I retire, she retired, so we only got 24 months left to be able to do that.
that's awesome. So this is the key. We got to prioritize things, right? So we got to look at that debt stuff that you're talking about. We got to look at all the things that you have and figure out what needs to get done first.
Right.
What thing on that list of inventory, assets, liabilities that you have, what needs to be tackled first to get you where you need to be in 2 years? Prioritize, take inventory, then write out everything you want to do in the next 10 years. Not the dollar signs that you want, but what do you want to do, accomplish? What do you want to tell me in 5-10 years from now that you accomplished?
Right.
Now you know your priorities of, okay, first I want to do this, then I want to do this, then I want to do this. All right, now let's look at what I got and what I don't got.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's more about what you don't got.
Yeah.
And figure out how do we get there and prioritize, because that's the worst thing. You can't have a plan if you don't know what you have and you don't know how to use it and when to use it.
That's right.
So everybody stop what you're doing. Think about what you want to accomplish in 3, 5, 10, 20, etc. And that type of, like, you start with 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, and then you go by tens. Okay.
Right.
Then take inventory of all the things you have or don't have, both the good things and the bad things.
Yeah.
People forget about the bad things, that nobody wants to talk about the bad things. Think about, your insurance policies, car, life, auto, home, everything you have. Categorize it. Protection, assets, liabilities. In assets, what are fixed assets? What, do all of those things. It's pain in the ass. That's why we don't do it. That's why it goes on the get to it later board. Do it. Because if you can get organized and then prioritize your to-do list, you can start making waves towards those goals.
Absolutely.
The worst thing is to know you want to do something, but not know what tools you have before you go to the tool store. Because you don't want duplications. I don't need another wrench. I already have a wrench that's the right size. You have to know what you have first.
Absolutely. Well, listen, I greatly appreciate that. Your website, did we give everybody your website information too?
Where to find you at?
Yeah. So the most important place to find me is Instagram.
Okay.
And that is Money Mindset by Laura. That's my handle. Everything's spelled out, no abbreviations. And when you're there, you can go on my bio link, and it has literally every possible way that you can find me. You can pre-order the book. You can look at the information about the summit that's coming up in May. You can schedule a time to chat for a one-on-one and get all sorts of really cool, free little budget sheets and giveaways on there as well. So if you go to my Instagram, that is the key to the door to find me and get to me.
Great.
Nice. Well, I'm gonna say my favorite line. My favorite line, is, welcome to the George and Fraser family.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy that we ran into each other on Clubhouse.
Absolutely.
I know, right? Are you glad we ran into the Clubhouse? That's a wonderful place, isn't it?
Yes. Yes. Thank you guys so much for having me. I'm so blessed to be here. So blessed to talk to you guys and talk to all of your listeners. And I'm so happy. I'm so happy we connected. And I'm here for you guys. I know you're not ladies, but it's all right. I mean, George, you already talked about your wife, right?
Yeah.
Fraser, I'm here to help. I'm here to help. That's what I'm here for. I am here to help
Amazing.
more people achieve their dreams.
That's
Absolutely.
amazing. That's
Well, we,
great. What you here for? Positivity and spread love around.
absolutely. So we appreciate you coming on the show. Like we said, we definitely love to have you again when the book drops,
Definitely.
and we can have you back on before the summit comes, so we can help you promote it a little bit more.
Awesome. Thank you
Exactly.
so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Have
We
a great day,
family.
guys.
Look at each other.
All right.
Bye bye. Wow, George. Another amazing one, George.
Did you guys hear all that information she was dropping? She
That was
was
a lot, George. My notebook got full.
dropping it. But listen, y'all stay tuned. We got some more guests coming. Check us out. Stay on our Instagram at Real Talk with George and Fraser. Hey, this is George.
Hey, this is Fred. Don't forget
Now,
the YouTube channel.
and don't forget Pandora. Peace.
And tune up. Where's that?